Good morning, America. I hope you're well. It's Tuesday, the 11th of February, and the markets will open in approximately 28 seconds. I have some educational slides with me today, and of course, we'll be trading live, so let's see what we can make of this. Dow's breaking down below the overnight range as we speak, although it is actually arguably not exactly, but it's under the reaction low from, no, it is, just touched the overnight range. I'm talking rubbish. We're just, yeah, let me try that in English. We are just at a double bottom of the low that we saw in the US markets yesterday. So double bottom. And the Nasdaq, let's take an equivalent look on the 30-minute chart. It just had a different structure yesterday, but there you go. So let's see what we can make of this. Today will be my last trading session before my holiday. It means that after today, I will not be with you and you'll be on your own for 12, 14 days. I'll be back to trade on the 25th, I expect, assuming that I make it off the mountain. That's always a... So it's Tuesday, so maybe we're going to get a Tuesday low. It's a gap down in the Nasdaq, and it's a gap down in the Dow. Quite tempted to be a buyer of the DAX here. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to take a chance. Been looking at that, an opportunity to buy the DAX below prior bar low. I think I finally got that opportunity now. I'm long here at 55. I'm going to put a stop loss at 36. Let me just amend that. I did a DAX trade yesterday during US session. That did not go well for me. Maybe I'm more lucky today. Time will tell. Let me just post that in the Telegram channel. Well, that was a quick way of losing 6-7 points. So the reason for my long position in the DAX, which is admittedly range bound, was the idea that I wanted to be a buyer below prior bar low, which is what took place here at 60. So I got in at 55. It seemed like a reasonable deal, and my stop loss is below the 30-minute low, which is at 41. But my God, it's the second day where I'm attempting to do the DAX in the afternoon, and it so far is not doing me any favors. I brought some. I went through some slides this morning. I quite like to show you. It was a review of the DAX, but perhaps more importantly for this session, it's the school run long in the Dow yesterday. I see the DAX is, no, that's the, sorry, I'm looking at the Dow. The DAX and the Dow is actually sort of trading at the same integer at around 50. So I thought, oh, the DAX is trading at 60, but it wasn't. It was the Dow. Sorry about that. False alarm. So yesterday, the Dow triggered a long signal above the trading range, and the trading range is defined very loosely as the range from to about where the European markets open. And there was a long signal here, and this short signal took place inside the range, which would trigger a long, and then brunch break actually triggered a long. And I spoke about, if you are interested, go to the video this morning. I'm talking about the irony of having a position, a good position, and taking profit versus having a good position that perhaps is taken in the wrong place and you're not letting it run, and you happen to nail the high. And so bad trading produces profits whilst good trading didn't produce results. And yeah, I think it was quite an interesting debate that we had going. Monologue, apologies. And then there was the school run yesterday, and the Nasdaq worked charm really, really well. So I'll probably refer to these a little bit later on. Let's just have a look at the DAX. So looking at a 10-minute chart in the DAX, it would be nice to see it up at 90 again or higher. Anyway, I hope that my voice is coming through to you loud and clear, and that you are well. We can also go through this 446 page presentation. I should really, Erica, do you think you can give me that in the US as well, please? You know, you did it in the DAX. Maybe you can do it in the US. That would be amazing. Oh. So it looks like the fireworks is in the Nasdaq. So the yesterday's price action on the Nasdaq was also very strong off the open, and then a big retracement that didn't actually materialize, and then continuation. I had a short position in the FTSE. If you're interested, I'd like to show you the entry. So the entry criteria was based around the first bar, which is a first bar negative. Excuse me, it's a first bar positive, and that triggers a sell. And the market had, the entry was at 74. I had an idea that the FTSE would hit 51, and I based that on a Fibonacci retracement. It's gone as low as 52, so If I was short, I probably would have taken it. I was about 10 or so points in profit, and I moved stop loss to break even. As you can see, my stop loss was taken, and then the market goes back down again. It's the absolute joy of my world is when I have a good position, move stop loss to break even, and then get stopped out, after which I see that the FTSE nicely proceeds towards my target. What's a man to do? Am I annoyed? Nah, just another day in paradise, right, ladies and gentlemen? Another day in paradise. I should actually consider being a buyer. So here's the pattern I was looking at, and that pattern actually came on about by studying the previous retracements on the daily chart. So going over the FTSE daily chart on really big spikes higher, such as I think it was probably this one here. It seemed like a 38% retracement was a reasonable target, unless you targeted a really, really big reversal, which I wasn't. So there's a chance that I'll actually be a buyer of the FTSE down here. We'll see. Basis this swing that we're seeing here. So here's a 30-minute chart of it. Getting pretty close. I'll probably lower the stake size and increase the stop loss. So please stand by. I'm put an order in at 50. $49.9 to be exact. DAX is seemingly steadying the ship, waiting for something more concrete off the Dow, which so far is trading within the range. So I need more information before I take a trade in the Dow. Also, today, in case you're interested, I absolutely ballsed up my school run long. The entry would come in at 53, so fully planning on being long because it took place outside of the range. So yeah, there we go. And then it went 55, 56, and I just said, oh, let's just see if we can get a slightly better price. And then I saw it run up to about 80, and I still wasn't in. So it was a great morning. Really lovely, great morning. sure you can detect sarcasm. I did, however, get the better of the DAX down here. I got a long position in. See this low here at 21,913. That's the school run low. The market went 21,007 and I bought right there. I'm happy with that entry. Yes, so as some of you have noted, I have been a dick for a tick. I'm an absolute pillock for a tick. And maybe it's just about to happen in the FTSE as well. Anyway, so word on the street is that we got Powell speaking at 3 o'clock. Let me just read this to you. Federal Chairman Powell is due to testify about semi-annual monetary policy report before the Senate Banking Committee in Washington, D.C. La-di-da-di-da, la-di-da-di-da, la-di-da-di-da-di, la-di-da. Okay, so the last time that he did that was back in July 2024. Shall we feast our eyes on what took place back then? Let's go to the 50-minute chart on this splendid database of the broker here, and let's just scroll, and what are we saying? July 10th. There we go. And there my PC goes apeshit. July 10th, in the good year of 2000 and la-di-da. No, we are talking about July 10th, a rather, well, judge for yourself. What do you think? Is it a pattern? And then big go. Do you think July 11th? Because it does. No, hang on. It's July 9th. Sorry. Let's have a look at July 9th. Big negative open. Screw on long. It's triggered up here. Is it overnight? It's below the range. It's definitely short. Ooh, and also short here. Ooh, bit of trouble. Take off. Could be interesting. Oh, looks like I got a bit of luck in my DAX position. Good. I'm going to delete the FTSE position. Order. That is now gone. And let's move stop loss to break even. Do you remember what happened in the DAX yesterday, ladies and gentlemen? I shorted the DAX, and where is it? And it went, this seems wrong. There we go. I shorted it there, and it went all the way up again. I guess I'm the one who's winning this afternoon. Finally. So anyway, so that's what happened with Powell. I can't really see the pattern here. It also said that it was in March 24, March 7th. Happy to go look at price pattern in March. Hmm, 15-minute chart doesn't stretch that far. Apologies. But I know what will, it will be E-signal. So let's look at the YM and the 15-minute chart. And let's go to the 6th of March. Here we go. 6th of March, gap up, sideways, sideways, sideways. Yeah, I don't really see how Powell's could do anything. Didn't back then. I quite like to add to my position in the Dow. DAX. 1 second. I'll do a half size on top of the full size. Stop loss is now at break even. I actually have a joke for you today. Would you like to hear a joke? Okay, it's a bit German. So the joke goes something like this. It's 1980 or 1984, and a British Airways flight from London lands in Frankfurt Airport. And the air traffic controller communicates with the captain of the British Airways, and he says, please proceed to gate A17. Anyway, so the plane all of a sudden stops on the landing track, and the air traffic controller gets really quite irate with the British Airways captain and says, why are you stopping in the middle of the landing track? Yeah, that's my German accent. And so the captain comes on, and he's like a very, very gentlemanly English gentleman. Sorry, sport, just looking for gate A17. So now the air traffic controller gets really pissed off and says, what? Have you never been to Frankfurt before? And the captain, sort of sensing that the air traffic controller is a bit tetchy, he comes up with a scolding reply. He says, well, as a matter of fact, I have sport. It was 1944, and I flew to Frankfurt, but I never landed, and it was dark. Boom. It's a bit of a cultural reference, I think. And apparently, ladies and gentlemen, this is a true story. Yes. Because I can imagine that the English people here in the channel enjoys this communique, whilst the Germans might be thinking, nine, that is just not funny. Like, I totally get it. But it is nevertheless supposedly a true anecdote. And also, Germany, I am long the DAX, so you know. Just saying. Excuse me. So we're coming up to the school run signal momentarily. Now, this is where it's going to get interesting, ladies and gentlemen, because we are clearly within the trading range of the overnight session. I'm going to get rid of these aggressive school run lines. So we have a tough choice to make. Do we do the opposite? Do we do the anti? Or do we bet on continuation? Let's look at the NAS. Same story, I think. We need our wits about us today. Germany, I hope I didn't offend you. There was apparently it wasn't an English captain, I have been told. It was an American captain. Oscar is asking me, when did I close the DAX 909? Honestly, I can't remember. Sorry, Oscar. So in a couple of minutes, we're going to get the I just think that the DAX could go up to 22,000, right? Isn't that on the cards? Isn't that what your chart reading skill says? Do you think that the notes being released by Powell could move the market? Do I go big? I just realized maybe there could be a spike here. What do you think? It feels like the market is gearing up to something or waiting for something. Apparently he's not releasing notes. Okay, so we have no. Yeah, what shall we do? What shall we do? I've been told Damn, I don't know what to do. Steve suggests that I do the responsible thing, go 200% long, no stop loss. Steve, love your style. All right. Taking profit. Pretty good. Okay, close the DAX. That was a good trade. Well, let's look at the Dow. So the Dow school run says that we should do an anti. Sorry, I took my eyes off the ball because I was looking at exiting my DAX trade. Did the Nasdaq just do a spike? Are you sure there weren't any notes being released? It would have seemed so, huh? Maybe it was a good idea just to. Hey, Garcia, thank you for your message. It's lovely. Is that your name? Did I get that right? Garcia? Garcia. I don't know. Sorry. But thank you. Charlotte, that's not a bad exit. I think I got out at 90. Federal Reserve Powell, we can ease policy if the labor market unexpectedly weakens or inflation falls more quickly than expected. Okay. David, thank you for posting this. And Steve, thank you for using my software. I hope you like it. Charlotte, I think we should have held on to DAX. I think we were a little bit too hasty there. But don't tell me I'm not being a dick for a tick in the FTSE, huh? I never forget when David said that to me. He just looked at me going, Tom, you're being a dick for a tick. I just thought it was so funny. Hilarious. So my account is at 15,700. I had these ambitions that I was going to be at 16,000 before I went on holiday. I don't think that's going to happen now. Hey Raghu, how come you have got Donald Trump speaking on Forex Factory? I have not got that. Are you privileged to some kind? Oh, it's just been updated. Tentative. Donald Trump is due to hold a press conference about his latest executive orders at the White House. Right. Oh, damn. What do we do? Raghu is absolutely right. Donald Trump is due to talk. Shit. Carl suggests that we should just remain calm and then panic. I don't know. Perhaps I'll sit this one out. If he is due to do a press conference, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's my exit cue. Oh Jesus, I don't want to take a chance with him talking. But I get my data from Forex Factory, the news data, and they have recently updated this. So this must be something quite new. I'm just going to see what CNBC says. Fed Chair Powell says central bank doesn't need to be in a hurry to lower interest rates further. Okay, it's good to know. What's sterling dollar doing? I have this idea that sterling dollar is going to go to 150 this year. I don't know why, it's just this premonition. But I got nothing about Trump talking. Trump's steel tariffs could trigger broader trade war as EU threatens proportionate countermeasure. Well, that's what we want, isn't it? Pass it on to consumer. Wouldn't that hurt the American consumers' pockets? Hey, Layli, what on earth gave you that preposterous idea? Was it something I said? I think in this software that we're using from TD, we should have a Donald Trump button. Couldn't that be a good idea? We could have a button up here, a special panic button, close all. Patrick says that it won't hurt the consumer because you'll buy local. Well, okay, Patrick, it's just how local can you buy? Can appreciate that you can buy certain things local, but in the world that we're living in, for companies to remain competitive, they often have to source the material from elsewhere. But I'm not going to get into an argument with you. I guess we'll see, right? Okay. It's quite rare for me to have a European DAX trade during the US session and then not having had a US session, and what's holding me back, just for the record, is that word is that Donald Trump is gonna give a press conference, and Mr. Trump does have a tendency to cause reactions in the market, and quite frankly it does feel as if the market is pausing. So I think yours truly is gonna bow out of the arena, quite actually really happy with my trade, and I'm ending the account at its high watermark. Would love to be here, but I don't know when that press conference is gonna be. Not saying that it's going to affect the market either. But I added 1% to the account. I'm happy with that. Dow is definitely climbing into a range, waiting for something. I'm not convinced that the Nasdaq is doing anything different. What's the saying, ladies and gentlemen? Sometimes it's better to be out wishing you were in than being in wishing you're out. I'm gonna step aside. I'm gonna say adios, and I will see you on the 25th. So that's a long time you have to trade by yourself. And think of me while I walk in the mountains. Look forward to that. Fresh air, thinking time. Leaving you with a Nasdaq that right now I wouldn't like to bet either direction. And the same for the Dow. Well, good thing is, had a good positive DAX trade that made good money. Happy to pass that on. So, have a fantastic February, and I'll see you towards the end of February. And as always, thank you for being here. It's fun to trade with you. I enjoy it. I enjoy the interaction we have when you write to me on the private message. I love when you're sending me PDF files full of data that I can digest, and I can sharpen my trading instincts. And thank you for alerting me that Donald Trump was talking. So there you go. I am grateful for you. All the very best. Bye-bye.